Hello everyone, this is Dimitri and MG Owners Australia once again. This is going to be a very short and punchy video where I'm going to address one fairly obvious but at the same time maybe not so obvious thing about how does one feel when they obtain a much better vehicle, newer, much better vehicle such as Haval H6, and I reviewed it plentifully like not long ago, just in several videos that are preceding this one. How does one feel when they have a better car that they like a lot more and they're fit for their purpose? Talking about myself here. And then I switch for a certain use case to drive around, pick up my son from school, whatever, into our good old, now old, 1-year-old MG ZST. It's a much smaller car. It's a much different engine, it's a different manufacturer, it's different finishes and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be an extensive review, I'm sorry to disappoint. If you want one, please talk to me or just take a look at my channel. I spoke about this car enough. We love this car, it's cool. So, does it feel substantially different from Haval H6? Do I still enjoy it? If I do, what do I enjoy? What can I point out to you? That's what this video is about. Let's talk about it. Alright, so the first thing that you notice as you start driving MG ZST after driving Haval H6 is the road noise. It's not offensive, it's not rattly, it's not anything like this, and even though the cars are also of different age, this one already has been with us for 1 year, very intense use, although, you know, it's not Uber driving or something commercial, but it has been in intense use and it's coming up to 13,000 kilometers, this car I'm driving right now. While my Haval H6 obviously is smooth as butter, it's brand new, it is barely like a couple hundred Ks on it, okay? So certainly MG ZST feels louder, it feels more loud on the road. The sound insulation from the wheels basically is definitely not something that I can compare honestly. Like I can compare it, but I can't properly rate it against Haval because it feels like me boxing against Mike Tyson. Honestly, that's what it feels like. It is just unfair, alright? Haval H6, completely unsurprisingly, is a lot better insulated, and it's a more expensive car by about $5,000 difference in the price of us buying this car for about 32,000 Australian dollars end of last year, and Haval H6 I bought just recently for 37. So $5,000 difference, and this car, by the way, MG ZST, right now I think costs for about the recommended drive away price is about 34, so it actually became a bit closer even to Haval in the price range, so that's probably worth noting as well. The second thing that you notice straight away is, unsurprisingly, how much cozier the car is, and you can see that my sunroof is not open, like in terms of the air is not coming in, but the shade is open. And even though I say that on sunny days in Australia especially, and in any other sunny state and any other sunny country, sunroof is an overrated feature. It's more hot than it's convenient, okay? It's cool in terms of, not cool in terms of air, but it may make you feel cool, you know, that you can open this, you kind of feel a little bit like a, you know, man of the world driving on an open road with an open roof. But at the same time, it's a bit of an overrated feature. But right now, when I talk about the difference in terms of it feels more cozy, it feels more contained as opposed to Haval H6 that offers you a lot more space, airspace inside of the cabin, I think that having a sunroof helps with that effect, because it offers you an optical sense as if you have sky above your head, even though it's not sky, it's glass above my head right now. So, but sunroof definitely helps with the coziness. So take it for what it is, as obvious as it is, maybe not so obvious to you. You don't need the sunroof for, you know, if you don't want to be too hot, especially on summer days. That's one thing. However, if you have any remotest fear of feeling a little bit closed in, especially if you're downsizing perhaps from a bigger vehicle, yeah, I can tell you that having a sunroof and having it open like I just right now have it open here in MG ZST definitely helps with that feeling. But it is definitely cozier. While we are on coziness, let's keep expanding on this, because that's probably the biggest thing that you do notice when you switch from, say, Haval H6 or something similarly sized to MG ZST. It's not just cozy head-wise, like it's not just cozy upward, it's cozy width-wise. You feel that the car is much cozier width-wise, you feel like your legs are a little bit closer together. You know, forgive the descriptive method of conveying to you how it makes me feel. You feel like everything is kind of squished a bit like this, right? With Haval H6, it's not as massive as LDV-D90, you know, the house on wheels, but at the same time, Haval H6 has a very generous central kind of divider line here with, you know, this big panel. It does make you feel like you can just kind of spread out a bit. Here, even not being a massive dude myself, I do feel a bit squished in. You do feel that way. Do I still believe, even after driving Haval H6 and comparing now these experiences, do I still enjoy, most importantly, do I still enjoy driving my wife's MG ZST, even after having overall a much better car? Let's be honest, overall a much better car. Yeah, I actually still enjoy driving this little zippy one, because it is exactly that. It is nice and zippy. It is nice and zippy, and I really think that there is room for that. And this is more, I think, about the balance of power of this smaller engine, 1.3 liter engine, if I'm not mistaken, turbocharged petrol engine of MG ZST, and I'm comparing it to 2 liters of Haval H6. However, 1.3 here is enough to make this shape of the vehicle, this aerodynamics, this elevation from the road, this mass of the vehicle, it makes it appropriate. It makes it feel adequate. Appropriate. Adequate, I think, is a better word than appropriate. And for Haval H6, which is a much bigger car, it's elevated, all that kind of stuff, but it also has a turbocharged 2-liter petrol engine, yeah? So, which is, in turn, also very appropriate for Haval H6. So I feel quite powerful, if not to say performance car-like, in Haval H6, but I have the same feeling here. I get into this, I know I'm smaller, I know I'm cozier, I'm much zippier on the road, yeah? But it's still a fun feeling. Both cars offer different level of fun feeling, which I really like. So if you're still, I guess, maybe I should have started with this, but hopefully you're still watching and haven't dozed off yet. I guess one of the main points and reasons why I wanted to record this video and connect with you, my friends, is to say to you that even after getting a much better car for my personal needs, I still get into this one, and I think it absolutely still has its value. It has its value, especially if you got it for not too overpriced price tag, especially if you got all the bells and whistles and nice vinyl but still leathery seats and all that kind of stuff. I still think that MG ZST has its value. Even I am still enjoying it. And I always enjoyed it, by the way. On the record, I think I said it in my previous videos. I had effectively 4 different vehicles over the course of 2022. Yeah, it happens to be that way that I was changing cars, right? Throughout the whole time, whenever I sat in other vehicles, whenever I drove others, I still always came back fondly and drove this fondly after test driving Haval Jolian, which I enjoyed. Then I got back into this and I enjoyed it again. LDV-D90, tried to fill a different niche in my life, massive blimp of a car, house on wheels. Sluggish. Got into this, like a nice relief. Here I go. Haval H6, beautiful, enjoying it right now, honeymoon phase. Get back into this to come quickly pick up my son from school. Enjoying this. It's still a cool, enjoyable, but much cozier, much smaller, much zippier experience. So for those of you, my friends, who appreciate little kind of personal check-ins like this, first of all, please give me a like so that I know that I'm doing something right, even if you don't feel like writing up a little essay for me in the comments down below, which I love, by the way, from those of you who do. But if you appreciate this kind of little insights, this is what it is. So that's what I have to share with you today, my friends. Still very much enjoying my Haval H6, but for those of you who are still considering to buy an MG ZST, or who are considering to get a one, perhaps a used one, but in a good condition with low kilometers, yeah, let's say under 15, under 20,000 K on the clock, I think you can still, if you get it for good money, you can still very much enjoy this car. With that, I'm going to say thank you very much for tuning in today and clicking on the video as well. Effectively, collectively, you, my friends, are buying me a coffee when you click on those links. That is nice. And I'll be speaking with you again about something else, MG or Haval related, next week. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.